forgot or not. Oh, come on. We'll give you a minute. Can you remember? Because there's
comic books
versus
video games.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm a little pika in the hat area right now. I'm wearing a limited edition kind of funny shirt. Hey, what's up, Greg? How you doing, man? Colin, what's going on? I won't mention NT because I love you. Tim, Nick,
you're there.
We love you guys.
Yep.
It's fine. You guys aren't watching this, so who cares? But in case by some chance you come across it, I love you guys. He loves you guys. You inspired the show.
Right, and we really want a Kevin.
Oh, yeah. We've decided that the day we get a Kevin for, like, this show, we've made it.
Yeah.
Like, Kevin is our gold medal.
Right.
Yeah.
So, way to set the standard there, bud.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin. I love Kevin.
He's great.
You know what else I love?
Video games.
Oh, conflict. Okay. So,
in the match,
we decided to do...
Who comes out? The victor. The way that you get shut down sometimes, and it's really, it's great.
I'm gonna fix my sleeves again.
There you go. Rack them up. Yeah, comics. Okay, well, what about comics and what about video games? Where's the clash?
I'm done.
No, you are? All right, folks.
Okay. They're so different.
Yes.
But they're so the same.
Yeah, they're art. They're creative. They're fun.
Entertainment.
Yep.
So this is how let's give a little backstory on why this conversation came up.
Sure.
So he and I have been talking about the fact that we also love video games. So
as much as comic books.
Yeah. So like my day is literally writing and talking about comic books other places and sending out places so I can write about comic books for other websites and stuff. And then after my days full of comic books is done, then I play video games. Like that's my night. And then my wife games too, so then we game together a couple nights a week and it's super fun.
Nice. That sounds good.
Then you play a whole other set of video games.
Yes, I do.
Because I play on the best PC gamer.
Look.
Yep. So,
the most complicated and frustrating and
yeah. Talk to me about how your PlayStation updates are going. So
way more easy to figure out than all the drivers and the things and the
what do you? I don't even.
I know, right? See, I don't even either.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's go consoles, console gaming.
Okay, so that's a whole other topic.
And it's so I hate
we're not having that topic.
That's so dumb. Like PCs are fine. I just prefer the console.
Oh God, I hate when you say prefer.
I try to just go strong.
I know. Oh my gosh, that whiteness. Look at that. It's like so doughy. I love it.
He's so distracted by his own body.
It's you know what it is because I always wear black shirts. I don't own other color shirts. I always wear black shirts. And so this shirt, for some reason, it just pulls up enough as I talk because I'm very Mr. Animated with my arms. See, and it starts starts to do that. And like my other shirts, they don't get stuck there. They come back down. But for some reason, this shirt buckles on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I have to do that to get it back down. And then, yeah.
Right.
Okay, whatever. So there's my doughy arms.
Yep.
But comic books versus video games. So we said we're going to approach this different, however we want.
Right. That's all that we ever really discussed before we
we just know we want to talk about both because this conversation started with me going, why don't comic books take their industry as serious as video games?
Right. And Jeff, if I understand correctly, you teased me a little earlier with some facts.
I did. So here's why I looked those up.
Right.
Because I was curious about the two industries and like what they make versus each other.
Okay.
It turns out games like Far Cry 4,
okay,
The Division,
yep,
those types of like top tier games, AAA games.
Yeah.
It turns out those actually make almost as much on their own as an entire year of comic books.
Wait,
so in 2015,
what?
The comic books sold came up to like $578 million.
Okay.
The Division.
Yeah.
Was it Division or Far Cry 4? I forget.
Okay.
One of those two.
Yeah.
Literally sold $333 million.
Like that's
in copies.
Wow.
So they're. I mean, don't get me wrong.
One game.
For one game. So for like, and that same company came out with like, I think I looked up 10 other games that year.
Yeah.
And like they weren't just like all lower tier games. Like there was another AAA game that they knocked out.
Those are the little Ubisoft games. And, and they're good.
So like, and Ubisoft had like, so they had like 2 AAA, both knocking out.
Far Cry Primal.
Yeah,
that was a recent
I think it
one.
was.
Sure.
And so they're knocking out hundreds of millions.
Right.
Comic books aren't. But then I was looking at like just the numbers.
Okay.
Of things being sold.
Right.
So like, in order for a video game to make that much money, they have to sell far less copies of their game than a comic book does. So like, if you're going like individual, like a Batman book. So Batman in 2015 sold 1.7 million copies.
Wow.
For the year.
Wow.
That's a crap ton.
Yes.
So if you take that by itself at $5 a pop, then Batman makes DC like $6 million.
Right.
By itself.
Right.
But then it's still 200 times less than Far Cry.
Right.
And I'm just like, is that like legitimately the reason why the video game industry is able to pull off like the video game awards, where they have bands playing? And it's like it's like an award show, which I watched on Twitch.
Yeah,
it was great. And
Jeff Keighley pulled it off like again,
dude. And Overwatch, best multiplayer, best game of the year. So
dang.
I played it. I finally played it.
Yeah,
they did like their free weekend.
Nice. Yeah.
It was super fun. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not a super I don't do
shooter.
I don't like first person shooters that much.
Okay.
For a first person shooter, I found myself wanting to play.
Wow.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, Brandon, and I, we pretty much played that game the whole weekend.
Hey, shout out to Brandon.
What's up, dude? He does watch. So
yeah,
he comments on our videos.
It's just funny because I got my stepbrother's name is Brandon.
Oh, okay.
It's his birthday today.
Did you say happy birthday to him?
I saw him yesterday.
That's not his birthday.
Happy birthday, Brandon.
Ah, jeez. So I was just like, is it just a numbers thing? But then I think, like, so first of all, the numbers that I was pulling are directly from Diamond. So so I think it's higher.
I don't know. Diamond is like one of
crap ton.
The very few. Like,
yeah,
I heard today. I was talking with the guys at our comic book shop. Like, they almost have a monopoly.
It's pretty dang close.
Distributing comic books.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking close. But it covers no digital sales.
Oh, okay.
So who knows what those numbers are?
Right.
And I think as time progresses, digital sales
will go up.
Are going to, like, it's the same thing with like books.
Yeah.
Where since ebooks have come out,
yeah,
they have never outsold print books. They haven't.
Oh.
But they have steadily risen. Right. Like, it's been the steadiest rise in people buying digital books. So in years to come, it's going to be digital's going to win.
Yeah.
I think same thing for comics.
Really?
I do.
Huh.
I think people are going to be more willing to explore digitally and then move into like, okay, so like I buy Tokyo Ghost #1 and I'm like, holy crap, this book is great. And I bought it digitally, but now I want to collect it. So I'm going to buy comic books specifically for collecting purposes,
right? Not
for reading purposes.
Gotcha.
Which, man, that completely jacks up their business model, but
yeah. It's a huge collected base.
Yeah, it's the
only with variant covers. That's like something that we haven't really talked about, but that's
we should. That's a good topic.
Yeah, it is.
Because I hate them and I buy them.
So I know the feeling. I got 2 right here.
But okay, so to go back to comics, so I'm questioning whether or not comic books can even like throw their hat in the ring in this fight,
right?
Because they just don't pull that kind of money. But then I question,
what?
Video games haven't always made that kind of money.
True.
So they've had to slowly build.
But they also haven't been around as long. That's another thing.
And hold on, let's cut in another aspect.
Yeah.
They also appeal to tons of different audiences. You have Lara Croft, female lead, that's like was over sexualized. They desexualized her, and that might be one of the best Lara Croft games ever made.
Yeah.
You have like just the gamut of cultures and genres and just everything you could possibly want.
Right. But it's easier to know when they're doing it.
It is. It's because they let you know, like, their marketing, and we're talking like, let's get rid of Ubisoft. Like, okay, they're huge.
Right.
Like, we're talking like Game Freak or whatever. Not Game Freak. Is it Game Freak
for Pokemon?
No. Who does Stardew? What's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was Game Freak.
No, that's Pokemon.
You're right. I have Pokemon on the brand. I don't know if you can tell. I love Pokemon. Pikachu. Anyways, I can't think of his. Anyways, so there was just one guy.
Just one guy.
And he made his game, and it took him years, and he did the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then through just a good, decent marketing plan, that guy made a buttload of money.
All the banks.
He went from just a dude who made a game for fun to a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Like, and if you haven't played Stardew Valley, you should because it's great.
It really is worth it.
So good.
I mean, I don't know, but I know what it's inspired by, and I loved those games.
Yeah. It's like it ate my life away for weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's one of those games where you just pick it up again and start playing again. Anyways, so I like there's enough comparisons to like these small publishers, these small gaming houses that knock out a book and they figure out a way to get it in front of the largest audience possible.
Okay.
And then let the fans do the work after that. And I really feel like comic books dropped the ball in this area.
You said book before. You were talking about games. Like,
did I say book?
Yeah, I heard book, and like my brain started just doing.
So like little, the smaller gaming houses, are getting their games out.
Yes.
Through Steam, through PlayStation Network, through whatever happens on Xbox.
Drinkbox is a smaller one, and they had Severed, and that one was one that came out like on mobile and Vita.
Right, and they capitalize on getting enough information out to the audience that would want it. Right. And then they just deliver that game.
Yep.
They deliver on their promises, or as best they can.
Yep.
And then let the fans take it from there. That's exactly what happened to Stardew Valley. That's why Stardew Valley on like launch day just went crazy.
Gangbusters.
Because there was just enough talk about it to where, like myself, I didn't know what Stardew Valley was when it first came out. Right. So I went and looked, and I'm like, this looks like a super fun, relaxing game.
Yeah.
And it was cheap. Like, it was free on PlayStation.
No.
Oh, no, I'm thinking Rocket League.
Yeah.
Which is, there's another one.
Psionics?
Yeah.
Like, what? Who is that? I don't know.
By the way, have you watched the Rocket League documentary on YouTube? Oh, it's so good. You have to go watch it.
After this.
No, it's so good. But there's another one where they took their, like, business plan and went, like, we have to get this in front of as many people as possible.
Yep.
And then flip it into a profit.
Yep.
And then they did.
Yep.
That game's unbelievable.
So fun.
And this is where I'm like, why aren't comic books like taking a page out of this? Because if small publishing houses can do, or gaming houses can do this with games that take years to develop.
Right.
And like there's so much invested in one game.
Right.
Why can't a comic book company take a comic book that literally we get issues with,
right, and
get it out there in front of like these bigger... When I was going through like top sales, none of these books were hitting it.
Oh no, of course not.
And I'm like, why?
Right. Well, that's kind of like why we're doing this show, because this is what we read, this is what we love talking about. But we also like, if I wanted to listen to a video game podcast, easy. There's thousands, right? Yeah. But if I wanted to listen to a podcast specifically not about like DC or Marvel, those don't exist. No. And like there's podcasts talking about books that are like 80 years old. Yeah. For Marvel and DC. Right. Like they literally go in and talk about how funny some of these books are, but like a book that just was so mind-blowingly amazing like Tokyo Ghost gets like no praise. Nothing. Like no mainstream media praise. No, and like it's incredible to me, like why? Like I don't know, because video games make so much more, they can invest more on the gamble of marketing. Here's the question. I don't have the answer, but the question I was thinking was, so let's say Far Cry Primal, well that's the new one, right? Yeah. How many years did that take? I don't know, a couple. Like, it takes a long time. Yeah. And it's like a full-time staff of like people just investing time into that game. Right. So like the cost per hour, I'm curious, the breakdown of cost per hour to knock out a video game versus how many hours go into like a full year of comic books. Yeah, but you look at the credits of a comic book and like you're going to get like maybe, I don't know, 10 people including the publishers and editors and things like that. Right. So the cost per hour here is going to be lower. Right? Right. But like the ratio between how many hours it takes to make, so if it takes 2 years to make a game, it takes 1 month to make a comic book. Right. Like you can balance the math out to see like what's really a better investment. Right. And I'm just saying like
it's just interesting to me that comic books sell so much less.
Far less.
But then I think I know why.
Why?
Because comic books are way less engaging.
Yeah, they're not as interactive. That's what I was thinking of, was the interactivity.
Like, okay, so we talked about Batman, right?
Yeah.
I can read about Batman.
Yep.
I can read about him defeating the Joker.
Yep.
I can read about all his detectiving.
Yep.
And all that stuff.
Yep.
Or I can hop on to whatever console thing. Yeah, and I can be Batman.
Right. Oh, bro, Tokyo Ghost video game.
See, now this ties into a topic that you guys didn't get to listen to because technical difficulty. Yeah. Trial. But, like, how perfect would Tokyo Ghost be for a game?
I don't know. It just depends on, like, are you going to tell that story? Because, like, here's, like, that's the thing. Like Batman, there's so much freedom and mobility to either write your own story, because you can't really retell a story. But maybe you could. Like, the Telltale games are basically just a story that you're playing through. And they're good.
I heard they're doing a Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they are.
I cannot wait.
It's going to be good.
So good.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. It's like, well, are we going to, like, replay the game that we just read about? It's like watching a movie based on a book. Like, what do you do first? Which one do you...
Yeah.
You know, sort of thing.
Dude, Telltale, though, that's a good pull.
Yeah.
They would... There's so many indie books that we could get Telltale series out of.
Yeah.
Like it...
Well, okay, but that's the thing, okay, because Tokyo Ghost isn't really about a universe as much as it's about those characters. And their story has been told, more or less.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, how can you tell more of their story in a different medium?
Right. Okay, so like the Borderlands games.
Yeah.
Borderlands from Telltale, or the Telltale version of Borderlands.
Yeah.
Works well because the world that Borderlands sets in is super fun.
Yeah.
Same thing with Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But Joyride.
Yeah.
Joyride's one that we could...
yeah.
I could see a Telltale game from I Hate Fairyland.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's just... I just feel like comic books are dropping the ball, and there's so much that they can do to get out in front of their audiences and be like, hey, over here, look at me.
Right.
Like, I'm doing a thing.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. Like, how else do you find out about a comic book without, like, getting that fatty... Like, I don't know, encyclopedia of previews.
Dude, like, I love when they give me the previews.
Right.
And then I equally dread it because I'm like, it's like a freaking dictionary.
What are you going to find?
It takes a good 25 minutes to flip through that thing.
And that's flipping, like, not even slow.
Just to be like, okay, is there anything coming up that I want to pre-order and make sure I get?
Right. And, like, or Twitter. Like, so many of the creators are having to do their own advertising, their own marketing.
How difficult is it to... I can't be on Twitter all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So, okay, Snyder's going to do it like a new... he's not, but let's say After Death, right? Let's say he was promoting After Death before it came out.
Yeah.
If I'm not on Twitter when he's doing that, and I'm following 400 people or whatever, I'm not going to see his stuff.
It's going to get buried in your feed. That's why you didn't see the Scotty Young stuff.
Right.
Right?
Yes, that's exactly why I did not see... By the way, I ordered a shirt.
Yeah.
I ordered the skull.
Nice.
Yeah, I ordered a shirt. Oh, hi, Scotty. I ordered your shirt. Love you. I love how I pretend like they watch this show when they don't.
Oh, it makes me feel better.
Yeah, I like to pretend important people watch our show too, like Mark Miller. I tweeted him and I asked him what his actual name was.
Right.
He didn't get back to me.
I was like, oh yeah, how do you say it?
Yeah, I did tweet him like at 9:00 at night. I think he lives in like England.
Scotland.
Yeah, Europe.
Up there.
Yeah, he lives in not America. So I don't know. Like, what are your feelings towards, like, just the difference between... Because you do both. You read comics.
I do both.
So what's the appeal? Like, what...
Okay, we'll do...
Ooh, okay, I'm going to let you answer, and then I'm going to throw, like, the worst question at you ever.
Okay, sweet. I think I'm going to hate it already.
Yeah.
Comic books, there's the collection factor, and that's really awesome. A part of it is, like, I kind of like doing things in... not a lot of other people read comic books, in a sense.
No, apparently it's significantly less than video games.
Right, and so that's something that's unique to me. It makes me feel special, you know? And so that's nice.
Hipster.
Yeah. We'll see what haircut I have next week. I don't know. I think just there's more of them, and they're affordable.
Okay.
That's a thing. Right? Like
But not really.
No, I could get all of Tokyo Ghost for less than I could get of Far Cry Primal, like when it first came out.
$10 at $5 a pop. It's $50.
Yeah, $60 games.
That's so negligible.
But still, not every series is going to have 10 issues. Some of them have less.
Some have significantly more.
And some of them are cheaper than others. And sometimes we get discounts because we have a pull list.
If we did pull the math, I would say that per book per year, we spend an equal amount for like a book as we do a video game.
Well, now that I'm like budgeting, I'm like a part of me.
Yeah, but you're buying less video games too.
Oh, I'm buying far less video games. I also don't have time.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I feel like it's more satisfying to read an issue in, 15 minutes than to play a game for 15 minutes because that's not enough time to play a game to really sink in.
Some games, yeah.
Right. But for a comic book, it's like you hit it and then you're like, oh, and you're done. And it's like good.
Yeah.
And you can get more of that with more stories, with more comic books. I don't know.
You can burn through 4 comic books in an hour, whereas you can make 10% progress into a video game.
If that. Yeah.
Well, hey, some people are literally platinuming the new Skyrim in days, so.
Golly. Oh, man. You know who you are.
Yeah. J.E.
Yep. And so, but it's one of the, actually, it's G.E.
He spells his name wrong?
That's why I brought it up that other time. You didn't know that?
Oh, gosh. Get off.
Yep.
Your name's wrong.
More or less. But it's the thing about video games.
Are bad.
Or he's named after his dad. I don't know. Who's to say?
Then his dad spells it wrong. Geoff or Geoph or whatever are all wrong. G makes a good noise. It's Geoff. If you want to say Jeff, it's Jeff. Settled.
Okay, cool. So those are the things about comic books that attract me to comic books. Things that attract me to video games. You get lost in those worlds. It's like a different kind of escape. But they're
getting lost in those worlds
for sure.
For real.
There's some connectivity with other people, like online features, multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, you ever tried reading a comic book with somebody? It's really a pain in the rear.
My wife and I
at the same time.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Rougher for her. I read slower.
Yeah, see,
right.
There's always one person's getting.
Yeah, but that's marriage, sacrificial love.
Shut up. Shut up.
So I don't know. And the video games, like, they're fun too. It's a different kind of experience. It's almost apples and oranges.
It really is.
But it's a different kind of entertainment. There's the interactivity with video games, and so yeah, there you go.
You ready for my do or die question?
Yeah, and I think I already know my answer.
What's my question?
If I had to pick one, which one would it be?
That's not my question.
Oh, okay.
My question is, if you had to pick one, video games or comics, which would it be?
Let me think about it. I didn't see that one coming. I think I would pick video games.
Why? That's
honest, and it hurts because I love my comic book collection and I love like conventions. I haven't gone to a video game convention.
But here's the stupid thing. I love comic books.
Right.
I would probably pick video games as well.
What the heck?
Now, I feel like it's part of like we just literally told our audience we don't like comic books as much as video games, but it's not true.
Right.
Like I'll be honest, I love comic books more than I love video games. But
right.
if I had to pick one between the two, I'm picking video games because there's more immersion.
Yep.
I get to be Batman rather than read about Batman.
Right.
And I get that interactivity with, like, I can go play with, like, Rocket League with other people.
Right.
I can play World of Warcraft and do the thing with the whole group of people.
Right.
Or if I want to play by myself, I can do Hearthstone. Like, there's so many options for me to go do different things.
Right.
Where comic books, it's just, I'm going to read it. And then I'm done.
Right.
And
sometimes you make an internet show about it.
Yeah. And, like, I do. I personally, if we're asking, what do you like more, video games or comic books? My answer is comic books. Hands down. Like, Like, it's a 10-1.
Sure.
Like, for me.
Oh, yeah.
I love comic books.
Wow.
But just the satisfaction and the things that games can provide.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
Oh.
I think comic books could step up their game.
Right.
With what they're giving us.
Yes.
Because the battle between what I would say is just indie comics.
Uh-huh.
If I was given the scenario, let's go to the scenario of, you can read any indie comic you want.
Right.
It's just the minute you want to read it, it's there for you.
It's there for you.
Or video games. That battle is way harder for me.
Oh.
And I say that because indie comics deliver, or small press comics even, deliver such a different experience than what I'm getting from, like, the big two.
Right.
A big time, I'm getting superheroes.
Right.
But with this, like, I'm getting, Deb and Dent and their psycho world. I'm getting,
murder mysteries.
I'm getting Gert with her fairyland world. I'm
Oh,
going
yeah.
to outer space and dealing with a spaceship that's sentient being that wants to just help these people.
Right. You're getting magic westerns. And
and I'm getting a dude that literally travels between two worlds and is famous and homeless. Like, it's just like the things that they're the diversity is just constantly feeding all the different things for me.
Right.
That video games, I tipped my mic.
Oh boy.
Shoot. That video games kind of does. It's less interactive, but comic books can't compete in that realm.
Right.
But I would say that if I'm forced between getting any indie book that I want and then being able to play any game I want, I'm gonna go with indie books.
Oh, nice.
I really would.
Nice.
I don't know if you would, but
I don't know either.
That's a different call.
Super torn. Yeah, that is a different call, and I really just don't know. I have so many different things to consider in my life right now, like time and budget. Right? These are things that
take money out of the scenario, though.
That's huge, though.
Right.
Like one book in a one game, completely different.
See, but I think we're looking at that different, right? So it's not one book per month.
So I just thought of something: Tokyo Ghost versus The Last of Us.
Okay.
Like they're both post-apocalyptic. They're both about people's relationships.
Yeah.
And I would pick The Last of Us. I think that's just how much I love that particular IP.
Sure.
But also what that game also offers is because, like, okay, to progress a story in a comic book, you have to turn the page. And that's the only interaction you're going to get. But to progress a story in The Last of Us, I have to kill all the things that are in my way.
Right.
Like, with me, like, this is what I'm doing. I am pushing this story forward in a different way than with comic books.
But here's, and we'll wrap this up, but I think comic books could and probably should do a far better job of creating big events to get in front of people.
What about cons? They're not really advertised the same way, though, like a movie trailer is, right? Like,
they're not advertised like movie trailers. They're not advertised like video game trailers.
Like at all.
No,
it's like you have to have been there to know where it is.
And here's the problem I have with it, is that to me, and we talked about this a little bit earlier before the show, I think comic books, it's almost like they want to keep their audience small. They want to keep it almost like the inclusive club.
Sure.
Like, okay, we have our
following,
our readers.
Let's cater to them.
And we're just going to give them what they want and give them what they want to see and, all this other stuff. And if you want to join the club, okay, but this is what we set on our table and this is all you're going to have to read.
You have to take this.
And that's why, again, I think indie comics specifically, can you imagine if like companies like Image, Aftershock, like Oni Press, Black Mask, if all of them pulled together and did like an IndieCon / awards thing, and then just blew it out.
Yeah, because like, how do you award? How do these comic books gain recognition? Like, I know the Eisner Awards, right? That's a thing, but what are those? Like, I only know that.
Dude, I'm willing to bet, and we could actually run this theory fairly easy.
All right,
just hang out at the comic book store for a little bit and be like, hey, I'm sorry, we're kind of doing a test thing for a show we're doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Eisner Awards are?
Sure.
And it's just yes or no. I don't need to know.
How cool would that be though? Like if we did come up with some questions to kind of gauge like people's interests. I remember you were telling me about this one time. This one guy was talking about books and like branching out about Marvel, and then like
that was on last week's show and that we didn't. Episode 5, 4, 3, whatever it is now.
It's lost,
gone forever.
And how like this guy like was totally like he was crapping on creators who were leaving Marvel to go do.
Weren't even leaving, just working on like Scott Snyder, like, hey, stop writing After Death because it's taken away from Batman or whatever crap he's doing.
Right.
Like Greg Capullo's over there doing his book with Mark Millar and he's staying.
Right.
Yeah, it's that. It was seriously, it was that kind of crap.
You see, but that like again, like that's such crap because if you're really a fan of that artist, go read the book that they're drawing.
See, but I think this is partly. It's partly due to the fact that, again, the industry, the mainstream part of the industry, just keeps catering to that guy. They keep giving him what he wants. I wouldn't even say what he wants, because I don't think that guy even knows what he wants. True. Like, I think if you could just clear his head for a second and put, like a Tokyo Ghost in front of him versus like a Guardians of the Galaxy versus this, I think he'd be like, well, crap, Tokyo Ghost turns out
is the best.
And here's the stupid part. it's written and drawn and colored and inked by guys who've done amazing books at Marvel, at DC.
Right.
And it's like, just the logic there is like, the book wasn't amazing because of the character.
Right.
It was what these guys did with those characters.
Right. And the thing is, it's like we were saying before, they kind of want to keep it. See, it feels like that sometimes they want to keep their audience small, but because
I think the big two do.
Or the big two or indies, I don't know. But there's something about the comic books, the more laid back nature of it. Like with video games, there's so much secrecy, you know, and there's so much like hype, and like you know what, you know, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
it might start raining in here. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? And then, but with comic books, I don't know. I want to see them more everywhere, the same way that we want their merch.
Here's the interesting part. Have you ever watched a game trailer where they reveal part of the story and then cliffhanger it?
Yeah.
And you're like, holy crap, I have to buy that game because it's super great.
Yeah.
Comic books don't do that. You ever notice that? Like in the previews?
Right.
It's just like the first few pages.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I guess.
Right.
But like, can you imagine like, so Ether. Like,
right.
Let's, because we spoiled that already, so we can do it. Can you imagine if like the promo previews for Ether was like a couple of pages of him in the fantasy world and then a couple of pages where they reveal, and he's homeless on Earth. Just to get the hype out there. Like, I feel like they baby their cliffhangers and their twists a little too much.
Right.
Whereas some spoiling can create hype, can create like excitement for the readers. Be like, oh, that sounds really cool. I might not have picked that up. Like you said, you wouldn't have picked up Ether had I not spoiled the twist for you.
Exactly.
And
so it just turns out keeping spoilers secret is a little overrated.
I would just love to see like the whole like indie small press group get together and do like a fan show where like where we vote on like who's it? Nickelodeon does like the fan thing where everybody gets to vote all the time.
Kids Choice Awards.
Yeah, that kind of crap. But like do that with like the comic books, like where like, you know, best book of the year and like
have readers' choice and things.
Have people like what books out of these companies, like what was your favorite book, and start small. Video games did not have the, you know, $100 million escapade that was the Video Game Awards 20 years ago.
Right.
But they started doing stuff like that, and that grew the entire industry. And clearly Marvel and DC have no vested interest in doing that, because why would they want to create more talk about companies that would start stealing dollars from them? It's they're vested in keeping Image, Black, Valiant, Dark Horse. They're like, it is their job to keep people from getting to those books.
Yeah, I can see that. That's whoa, wow.
Right?
I guess.
Like, you're on a budget.
Yeah.
You like Marvel, you like DC.
Oh, right. Like, I would blow my whole budget, like, if I was really wanting to invest in their world.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, and you would have no budget left over for any of the Image books.
True.
Like, I understand that, like, the budget side of getting into indie means you give up Daredevil. It means you give up Superman. And part of the point of this show is for us to, like signal boost these books and let you know they're worth skipping a few months of your, maybe not your favorite books, but like your B books, the books you're like, I like this character, but I'm not really just to try these out, because they're worth it. They're good.
It's the books you're putting at the bottom of your reading list.
Yeah, that's us. Oh, we didn't even hit that one. I forgot about that.
Oh, we talked about that.
We did. We talked about, because
we
I literally
about how you put like 3 books that you kind of like. In
front
your
of the B books, and then like
in front of your AAA book. Just so you have a reason to read them to get to your AAA book.
I'll read these 3. You know, I'm not gonna say names,
right?
So I can get to Fairyland.
Yeah,
it's like my little treat.
That's how you know you need to cut 3 books
reward.
Out of your full list. Yeah.
But I just like the whole video game. It is not a fair comparison,
right?
But I think the comparison has enough of overlap to say that there are things that are being done to build the gaming industry that the comic book industry needs to seriously take a look at and start stealing some of those particular tricks.
Sure. I mean, I only know marketing so well.
Yeah, I'm
right.
Not,
I only know business so well.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just these feelings,
clearly we don't know business that well in the show.
I mean, I'm a fan. I subscribe.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, that was funny. I was like, wait, what?
I didn't know.
We make up half our subscribers.
That's not true.
It's not true.
I thought about like we should introduce ourselves like with, hey, we're Reverse Meltdown, and we have 10 subscribers on YouTube, like or whatever, like just some stupid thing like that.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's kind of like when we're talking about merch. We just want to see comic books out there more. We want like that. I don't know. I guess this kind of passion project is that sort of thing about letting the people know that there is great entertainment out there, and you keep abusing your mic.
I bonked my mic hard.
Oh,
I lifted it up.
Oh, jeez.
Video games are great. Comic books need to learn some lessons from them.
You can't really live stream a comic book.
No.
But you can draw one.
And Twitch has a creative channel.
Wow.
Like, seriously, can you imagine if, like, Jim Lee went on to Twitch?
I was thinking Capullo.
Or Capullo. Imagine Capullo, like, and here's the thing.
Because
they don't have to do pages. Right. Because that'll give stuff away.
Right.
Somebody's got to draw the damn cover.
Right.
So what if they went on to Twitch and, like, okay, I don't know how long it takes to draw a cover. I'm assuming a full work day or two.
Sure.
And you just do that a couple days a week to start promoting some of these other books that are lesser known. Like Reborn. Oh, right. I have to do a Reborn cover. So I'm going to go onto Twitch, and I'm going to stream as I draw and ink this cover, and they get to watch my process, and then they get to talk to me.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that builds fans faster than being able to interact with the creators.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's stuff like that.
Come
on. So easy to get to. Can you imagine? What? Can you imagine if Greg Capullo or Scotty Young was like, hey, I'm going to do some... I've sat on my phone like this as Scotty Young has periscoped drawing I Hate Fairyland.
Wow, yeah,
Periscope has like... Twitch is way bigger.
Twitch is bigger. Periscope is not as limited, but Twitch is still bigger.
Can you imagine like Scotty Young goes, hey guys, I made a Twitch account, and on this Friday of the month, I'm going to, I'm working on this splash page. I'm working on this cover.
Yeah. What about his daily sketches, though?
The's another one that he could...
Dude, how hard is it to turn on the camera? Well, it took us a while.
It's a lot harder than you think.
It is.
But I'm just like, see, it's stuff like this that I'm just like indie creators, small press creators, they have to do more work to get in front of a bigger audience. But there's like, I forget how to, like, the person broke it down. Like, so, like, writing books. What you have to do is evaluate cost versus reward, right? So,
of course,
being on social media helps publicize and get your book out in front of people.
Yeah.
But it's less effective than just getting your next book out, right? So when you're spending time doing something, your majority of your time should be working on your next book, and then a small percentage of your time would be on social media, right? That's the balance. I feel like these guys need to be on some of these other things.
You're right. Broaden like their reach.
Yeah, just to get going.
Dude, yeah,
I'm very passionate about all of these things.
Yeah, the video games, the comic books, and I don't know how we get them.
Hey, speaking of social media.
Oh,
hi Spencer. No, I'm not gonna. I can't, because then you're gonna do the voice to me, and I can't. I can't handle it. If you want to hit us up on social media thingies, he's on Twitter.
And Instagram, not as much.
You're not on Instagram.
It's the same name, though.
Yeah, but your wife's on Instagram a lot.
True.
And she tags you for everything.
So if you want to see me, follow her. I'm not saying what it is, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I am at thesweetestbrag.com. Not this time.
That might be a joke that's not even in an episode. Who knows? I forget what's in episodes now. So he's at The Sweetest Brag. I'm at Comic Devourer. And... we're going to uncomplicate this, but for now, this show is under at Reverse Meltdown, and then our daily blog is at reversemeltdown.com, and also Instagram is all at Reverse Meltdown.
Reverse Meltdown.
And if you're following the show at the beginning of the year, this show's going to be called Reverse Meltdown, because that's super complicated to be like, hey, this show's called one thing, but you reach us at another thing, and here's another thing with all that other thing.
Turns out that's not good business practice, so what do we know?
And we're good at business. Laying down the business.
Yeah, pick it up if you can.
Hey, there's a like button down here. Looks like a thumb up.
Hit it. Please hit it.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
if you hit it.
And if you did enjoy it, you can subscribe.
And then there's a subscribe button down over there somewhere.
That way
it's like a long red bar.
Yeah.
In a minute, there's going to be a screen that actually shows you like what it looks like, the thumbs up and the thing.
Whoa, dang, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, with the da, 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 da.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
So, cool. See you guys.
Thanks.
I don't know. Are we done?
We'll see how long I make us hold it when I cut it.
Please don't do long.